Joe, yesterday Eric said about left-handed people, and he put on my my YouTube page, well, left-handed people can draw better. Well, I'm hopeless. So I went on a website to learn how to draw, and I came up with these. Now, for somebody who cannot draw in the slightest, I was more than impressed by my own work. I ought to frame this. I could be a star. Thanks for that, Eric. I enjoyed that. So, fellow vlogsters, this is vlog, whoa, what are we, 26 or 30, and I'm running out of shit to say, so I'm going to talk today about my book, and this is my book. There is a lot more of this as well. What it is, it's basically an account of all the stupid stuff that I've done in my life, from growing up being stupid with your mates where you didn't know better, to being older and being stupid and definitely knowing better. There's a couple of stories which come to mind. Me and my friend Ginger Paul, who's going to do some vlogs soon. He tells me he is. Anyway, we were at this bar, a pub in England, and it snowed. Not really a problem, but we were both a bit drunk. Now, it was also in the days where CB radio started hitting England. I think at this point it was still illegal, but we all had, you know, the CBs in the cars, and we even had one at home. And anyway, this one particular night it was snowing, and it was quite thick snow, and we were heading down this country lane because we always had to go back country lane ways because of the cops, you know, and drink driving because you're not allowed to do that. Anyway, we were both drunk as skunks. Anyway, we're driving down this road, and I was on the CB, and I was talking to my wife at home, you know, telling her what was going on. Anyway, my mate Paul, he says, we were hammering down this road, and he said, how fast do you reckon we could take this next turn? Don't know, I said, but we're going to find out, aren't we? Anyway, as we came to this turn, and steering wheel was turned like that. Anyway, we went straight off the road, through the farmer's fence, and the van rolled over quite happily, rather gently, in the field, and the mag mount, the magnetic aerial, fell off, and I was sitting there thinking, well, this is silly. Anyway, so we were upside down, and I opened the window and picked out the mag mount, which had come off the roof, and just stuck it on the side of the door. And my wife was saying, what's going on, what's going on? I was just hanging around in his field. And do you know what? We pushed that car back up onto four wheels and drove out the field like nothing had happened. There was a few dents and scratches, but nothing serious. And that was kind of just one of those little things. Yeah, any more that and there's just so many. Yeah, there's another one. I was in Perth, Australia. We're having this great time at a drag race. Now, I love motor racing. One of the things I could never really get the hang of, never understood it, is drag racing. I mean, it's great in the fact that you've got these mega engines pushing out incredible power. But the upshot is, it's like, brrr, done. And I was standing behind this top fueler, and I didn't realise they were going to start the epoxy engine. Holy shit! My ears were ringing for about a week after that. Yeah. But I enjoyed the thing of being a drag race meeting. It was great. But I still don't understand to this day drag racing. I kept thinking to myself, damn, if they had a couple of corners here, you know, make the races a bit longer, rather than a few seconds. But of course it would be then not drag racing, would it? Never kind of got the concept of that one. Now there are other things which niggle me. Pringles, the crisps, chips, whatever you call them. They had an advertising promotion which says, it's gone now, this is a few years ago, it said there's a million ways to enjoying them. Now, I thought, oh okay, well, I can think of only 3. Eating them, admiring their pleasant shape, and what was the other thing? Oh, smelling them, yeah, crisps. So I wrote to Pringles and asked what the 997,997 reasons that I'm missing. And do you know what? They didn't reply. Talking food, there's another thing, television adverts in a moment. So often you get this, whether it's a sausage or a pair of crisps or whatever, fresh fruit, and it all talks to you. I don't want to know about this. If I'm going to have a nice little orange, I don't want it to say to me, "Hello, I'm an orange, and you're going to eat me." You don't want it. Don't have talking food in your commercials. I just say it, but it annoys me. Yeah, Rick, cat. Yes, okay. And I agree that cats kind of adopt people rather than you adopting cats. Yeah, and the cat across the road, she wants to be my friend, and it really is an adorable little thing. But you know, I'll feed it if I can, but I really don't want a cat that much. My old cat Cosworth, who was I had it for 15 years, and he was the most adorable, beautiful Siamese cat the world's ever known. He was funny, he'd talk to me, you know, he'd slept in bed under the duvet every night, pretty much from a little baby kitten. So every night, you know, you sort of tuck up in the bed and he'd get in next to me and he'd just lay there and he'd sleep all night. It was brilliant. And I had, you'd probably see me wearing these sort of jacket things that zip up, bob coat I call them. Call them a bob coat because my wife got one and she said, "What do you think?" I said, "Look a bit of a big old bird in that." Big old bird Bob became a bob coat. Anyway, you used to unzip it, cat used to sit in there and he used to have his head up here, and he literally, as he got older, he'd stay there all bloody day if he wanted to. He used to get up, go and have a piss, and he'd still be there, you know. I kind of hate to admit this one, but Julie and I, we went, I had to go to see a dietitian because of putting on weight. Anyway, so this dietitian, and she was early 20s, fabulously good looking, and I sat there and she was going through all this sort of thing at me, and I just couldn't help grinning at her. In fact, I kind of lost the power of speech. And it was, anyway, but she was telling me what to do, what to eat, what not to eat, and how to go about it, devising a diet sheet. Then I said something, and I said something that I still to this day cannot believe I said. And I said to her, "Man, I bet you look brilliant in a school uniform." There was this kind of silence for a moment, and my wife hitting me, you know, for saying such a thing. And bless her, the dietitian, she looked at me and she just laughed, and I thought, well, I think I got away with that one. I still to this day can't believe I said it. Another thing I did, when I was about 13, I accidentally invented the chopper push bike. Now, I had a push bike, had 20-inch wheels, which was kind of a shopping basket on the back because I used to do a paper round. Anyway, I was riding it down where I lived and rode straight into a wall, as you do. I didn't mean to. And it snapped the front forks clean off. I thought, well, oh dear. So in younger days, you could always go out and find bits of push bike laying about. It just seemed to be, or it always had a dump or something near you. Anyway, I went down the dump and all I could find was a set of 26-inch wheels. So, forks. So I thought, well, I'll have to do. So it actually fitted onto my push bike. But of course, when you put the 20-inch wheel back on the front, the brake calipers are about this far away from the wheel, and it rode like a chopper. I invented the chopper push bike. I spent a lot of my working life as a rep, and I worked for an electrical wholesaler. So what we did was I sold cable and sockets and plugs and distribution units, all sorts of things, to both electrical contractors and to factories. Now, one of the people I used to deal with, and it was only my second, probably third trip to see him, and really nice father and son electrical contractor, employed a couple of people, great people. And they operated from a shed in their back garden. Let's say it was a really nice office shed. Anyway, I had an appointment to go and see him, and they lived in this typical English housing estate. And I pulled up outside their house, got out, went to the front door and banged on the door, and nobody answered. So I went round to the side, because I knew you could get through to the side, and I was banging it, and anyway, nobody answered. So I phoned up the guy and I said, hey, I'm at your house, and you know, where are you? And he said, well, we're in. I said, oh, okay, well, nobody's come to the door. He said, no, we're out in the office. I said, fair enough. I said, but your gate's stuck. He said, no, give it a good kick in. Sometimes it sticks. And so I'm kicking this gate and I'm pushing it. It was about this time that I heard a police car, you know, siren. And then aware of the police running up this pathway. And what the fuck are you doing, was they were saying. I said, well, you know, I'm seeing my customer. And anyway, it turned out I was 2 doors away, and it was an elderly lady who was frightened shitless by this bloke banging and kicking her gate in. My customer then came out, and the police, they had a right go at me, and they actually called me a fucking idiot. Then my customer said, he's well known for being a fucking idiot. The worst part about it gets even worse, because he then phoned my boss, who telephoned his boss, the regional manager, you know, the big guy, which was unfortunate, because the next day I had a meeting with him. We had a sales meeting. As I walked in, the big boss said to me, Nick, glad you made the right place and you're not kicking the fucking door in, you fucking idiot. How was I to know I was at the wrong house? Anyway, this has been vlog 27. See you tomorrow for vlog 28. Cheers.